Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Sunday, 24th day of January 2016. Uh, Thanks for coming out. This is going to be short. You guys, those of you that have been around the radio show, you know I've got some personal issues going on, family matter with my brother, and so I always say I'm going to keep it short, and then I end up sticking around and teaching for a half hour, not a half hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. Today, I just want to answer questions from anyone who is planning to take the free trial this coming week, okay? Any questions at all, there's a little chat box there. In fact, somebody do me a favor, type a Y into the chat box so that I know you can hear me. There we go. Thank you for the Y. Okay. We got, okay, guys. I see a couple familiar names, some not so familiar names. When I do these type of Q&A sessions to set up for the new week, you'll probably be seeing more and more of them as I get better at keeping it to just 30 minutes and just answering the questions that you have, not launching off into these teaching sessions that I'm infamous for. So we have just to bring everybody up to speed, put everybody on the same page. Now, if you're here and you're already a partner, okay, I'm not asking you to leave. No, once you become a partner or a client, you are always welcome to anything that we do. Webinars, seminars, Q&A sessions, anything at all. So I don't want you to think I'm saying, hey, get out. I'm not. I just want you to know that I'm going to be addressing topics that will be of interest to someone that's going to take the free trial. Now, when we do a free trial, it's 5 days in our live trading room. We trade real money in real markets in real time. We also answer your questions as we trade. A lot of trading rooms use historical charts. Some talk the market but don't actually put on trades. Some ask you to hold all your questions to the very end. We try to keep a free flow of discussion going for the entire 2 hours. One, so it doesn't get so boring. Our style of trading itself is just, I'll be honest, it's boring. I mean, we do the same thing over and over and over. Now, the biggest issue that new people encounter when they come take the trial, you log in the morning, just like you've logged into this webinar this afternoon, and there'll be, instead of one big chart like I have up, there'll be 5 or 6 smaller charts showing different markets: S&P, Russell, Dow, crude, gold. And immediately, in fact, I got an email from a gentleman the other day. I filed it in my that's a cute email file. He said, I came to your open house on Friday. I spent about a minute and I was so confused, I left. I thought that was funny. Anyway, I emailed him back very politely and I said, well, I can understand if I went to my first game of marbles or hopscotch or hockey, 60 seconds would probably be enough to confuse me as well if I didn't understand the terminology and, what's a point, what's a basket, what's a home run, that kind of thing. Each industry, each business has its own terminology. And then you have subsets, like there's lots of different companies out there that will teach you how to trade futures. But inside that group of companies that teach you to trade futures, there are subgroups. And as you go into different rooms, you'll hear different words, different terms. I mean, from the catfish hook to the blue ice to, because you got to name stuff something. Doesn't the name in and of itself isn't that big a deal. We have a thing called the CFMA1. Oh, well, what moving average is that? Well, actually, it's not. It's something that we coded to work together with a green line, which is called the BBC. Oh, well, what's that? Bull, bear, cross. Oh, well, what does that mean? Well, if price is on top of the green line, then we're bullish based on whatever time frame we're observing. And by bullish, has nothing to do with the economy or any of that. It just means in that time period that we're looking at, if price gets above the green line, and I'll show you in just a second so you know what I'm talking about, then we expect higher prices relative to that time frame. And if price gets below the green line, bull, bear, cross, if price crosses below the green line, then we're bearish relative to that time frame, and we expect some lower prices. And so our method of trading, while at first glance, because there's these different charts and different markets and weird terminology you never heard of before, it's only natural that it just seems confusing, right? Once you're there a couple days, if you can get it out a couple days, you'll have a moment of awareness where you go, wait a minute, that guy just did the same thing he did 5 minutes ago. But he did it in the S&P 5 minutes ago. Now he just did it in crude oil. Hey, what's he trying to pull? Well, what he's trying to pull is he's trying to show you that we use the same method, the same strategy, the same indicators, and the same time frame to trade every market. And some people say, well, that's not possible. You can't do that. Crude oil has a different personality than the S&P. The Dow has a different personality than soybeans. Okay, that's all very true. However, for the purpose of what we're doing, which is to go in and grab our daily goal and be done for the day, those different personalities and characteristics really don't affect us. We're not 9-to-5 traders. We're not stare at the screen all day traders. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the style of trading that you want to learn, we probably won't be a good fit for you. We help you set a daily goal. I mean, there's a process. We write a business plan together and a trading plan together, and then you go through a boot camp, so to speak, where you qualify yourself to actually go live and put real money on the line. So right away, that weeds out everybody that's looking to get rich quick, overnight kind of thing. I'll just be honest, we don't have that. We don't offer that. And our goal, even though we have a couple different products, the core of what we do is our 90-day mentoring program. That teaches you how to trade. It's like when your dad probably, or possibly your mom or an older brother, taught you how to drive, okay? It was pretty confusing and you made some mistakes and you were really, really nervous. But once you learned how to drive, you had a skill set that no one could ever take away from you. You can't unlearn how to drive once you know how to drive. Now, you can go to a different country where they drive on the other side of the road and the steering wheel's on the wrong side of the car. Just kidding. We have partners all over the world, so when they come here, they feel the same way. So there can be that kind of a switch up, but bottom line, driving is driving, right? Riding a bicycle. Once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you can you can go 5, 10 years without riding the bicycle. Once you get back on it, you might sputter for a second, but you'll be cruising. Now, if it's been 5 years since you've been on a bicycle, you might only be able to go 500 yards or 500 feet, but get my point? So that's what we want to do. We want to teach you how to trade. Then you can go out and build your trading business. If you watch shows like Shark Tank, when people come and pitch their idea, their invention, their business, whatever it might be, one of the things that the sharks are most concerned about is if the business truly is profitable. I mean, if the business model itself actually makes sense, is it scalable? In other words, okay, you figured out a way to make $100,000 a year with your bakery or your service business or whatever it might be. Scrub Daddy. I think that was the most popular product ever from Shark Tank, the Scrub Daddy. What they want to know is, and they'll tell the people doing their pitch, you know, that's a great business. You've learned how to make yourself 100 grand a year. That's awesome, but how do I make money as an investor? In other words, can we turn a $100,000 business into a $100 million business? They're thinking on that kind of a larger scale, hence the term scalability. Can the business be scaled? The beautiful thing about trading, and in particular trading futures and the Emini futures, is that the business can be scaled to whatever size you want to scale it to if you learn how to drive. See, it'll always come back to that. Can you drive? Which of course I'm saying is, can you trade? Can you be consistently profitable in the markets? Some markets have more volume than others. There are certain times of the day when it's not advisable to attempt to trade 10 or 20 contracts in the Russell. There are other times of the day when you could trade 50, 75, 100 even contracts in the Russell. The S&P is the market that most people usually want to learn because they've heard about the liquidity and the volume, and all of that is true, okay? Whether you're a 1 contract trader or a 100 contract trader, you can put on and take off trades in the S&P literally around the clock. Same's true of gold, same's true of crude oil, same's true of the euro, okay? Now, if you come from the world of equities, the trading day to you tends to be 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Those of us who trade futures have ourselves a 24-hour-a-day business. Now, that doesn't mean you have to work 24 hours a day, but the beautiful part is you can work as many hours a day as you need to work to reach your daily goal. And you can do it during the hours that are available to you or during the hours that you are running on all cylinders. Some people are morning people. Some people are late night people. Some people, their creative juices start to flow at midnight when everybody else is going to bed. Well, if you live on the West Coast, midnight is 3 a.m. on the East Coast, and that's the London Open. There's some beautiful trading opportunities off the London Open. So the futures markets serve all people on all levels. Once you go through our boot camp, you have to prove to us. Now, when I say you have to prove to us, obviously we're not going to come to your house and inspect your books. We're going to take you we're going to trust you, because ultimately, if you're not being honest with yourself, you'll only hurt yourself. We want you to reach your daily goal 10 days in a row in the simulator, and there's some criteria that has to be met in that before you go live with even one contract. And then once you go live with one contract, we want you to increase your account balance by $2,000 before you add a second contract. We have what's called a 24/20 blueprint that's designed to take you, once you qualify to go live, it's designed to take you from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. You don't have to grow your business that big, and it might take you longer than 24 months. The blueprint itself is designed to take you one step at a time, one contract at a time. If you are trading the way we trade in the live trading room, we teach you aggressive risk management. In other words, we never risk more than 8 ticks on any one trade. Now, whether you're at the one contract level or you've graduated to 5 or 10 or 20 or 100, the risk management is the same. 8 ticks. At 4 ticks profit, we take our stop to break even. Does that mean that we have a lot of break-even trades? It does. And when we have 5 ticks profit, many of our traders will move their stop to break even plus 1. Why? Because that covers the commission on the trade. Now, suddenly there's no pressure, there's no stress, there's no losing money on this trade. It allows you to achieve what Mark Douglas called a carefree state of mind. And so we trade in such a manner that we get to the carefree state of mind as quickly as possible. And if we get stopped out at break even or break even plus 1, not a problem. We just wait for the next trade to set up, which will be exactly the same way the trade before it set up. We have 10 trades a day in our model to make our daily goal of $100 per contract per day. Here's where a lot of people struggle. They come in, they sit down, they're fresh-eyed and bushy-tailed, and they've used their brand new body scrub, and they've had their green tea or their cafe latte, whatever floats your boat, and you're ready to work. You're ready to tear it up. You're ready to go to town. You're going to kill it. That's not good terminology. We'll teach you to use other terminology. People who try to kill the market tend to get killed. But I'm not going to go into the whole teaching thing today. I'll save that for down the road. Once you reach your goal for the day, you have to put the mouse away. I'll say that again. Once you reach your goal for the day, you have to put the mouse away. Teaching you how to take $100 per contract per day out of the market, that is the simplest part of the equation. It's not the easiest, because there is no easy when it comes to trading. In fact, trading's not easy, but it can be simple. Our goal is to teach you how to make trading simple, okay? And part of simple trading is having a daily goal, having the confidence that you can reach that goal on a daily basis, and having the discipline to stop trading once you reach the daily goal. Because most people will have to test this. They'll be up $300, $400, $500 on the day, $1,000, $5,000. I'll never forget the first day. Back in 2006, I made $5,000 on the Russell on my first trade, and went out. This is back in the days when I was still a smoker, had a few smokes, said a prayer, felt pretty good about life, went back in and promptly, well, not promptly, I battled with the market until they closed that afternoon, until Wall Street closed, and I was down $6,000. A grown man wept on his way home. How did I go from making $5,000 in a few minutes to losing $6,000 by the closing bell? Again, there's a whole lot of psychology behind that, and most people will test it, just like most people will touch the wall to make sure that the paint really is wet, or they'll touch the stove to make sure it really is hot. And once your curiosity is satisfied, then you'll just believe it, okay? So here's what will happen over the next 5 days for you. You'll show up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You'll watch Michael get his points for the day. In other words, you'll watch him make $100, okay, in 10 trades or less. He'll have 5, 6 charts up. We don't expect you to learn to trade 5, 6 markets at the same time. We're doing it that way simply to get it done sooner so that we can then go into teaching mode, answering all of your questions, explaining the trade setups, making sure you have your chart set up properly, making sure that you understand the methodology, the strategy. We want to give you as much attention as you need. So don't let the 5 or 6 charts freak you out. In fact, if your goal is to learn how to trade the S&P, then just pretend that every chart up there is the S&P, because we're going to trade every market exactly the same. Doesn't matter what the label says, gold, crude, Russell, we're going to trade it exactly the same, okay? Now, during the 5 days, you'll be able to sit one-on-one with Michael or myself for an hour in a private go-to meeting. The live trading room, there'll be hundreds of people in there. That's a group teaching environment, okay? But you'll get 1 hour one-on-one with Michael or myself. You can choose whoever you want. And we'll go real slow and make sure you've caught everything. By the time we get together with you for your personal mentoring session for that 1 hour, it's very important that you have our indicator set installed, up and running on your machine. When you log in to the go-to meeting for your 1 hour of personal mentoring, I want you to have your charts up, because we'll be referencing different things. You'll be able to see my charts, and at some point we may flip it around. You might say, hey, Dwayne, I'm not sure I'm reading this right. Will you look at my screen? We'll flip it around. I'll look at your screen and I'll go yes or no, whatever the case might be. In order for you to truly benefit from your 5-day free trial, you need to download the indicator. Now, let me clarify this. Our indicators work on NinjaTrader. Probably 50% of traders out there, or at least 40, use NinjaTrader, or even if you don't use it on a daily basis, you own a license to NinjaTrader. And so if that's you, you'll have to install a couple files, send us your machine ID, and like magic, our indicators will come alive on your platform for the length of your free trial. If you don't have NinjaTrader, we have a platform, DT Pro. It's offered by Daniels Trading. You can download that platform. We'll enable the indicators there. If you have a brokerage account that's built on the Open eCry backbone, or if you have an account with someone who clears through Gain Capital, then they have a platform that our indicators will run on, okay? So you just have to let us know who it is, and we'll take this whatever steps are necessary to get you up and going. What we don't want to happen is at the end of the week, you go, man, I'll be doggone. I understand that guy in the live trading room is a pretty doggone good trader, but I never actually tried the trades. I didn't practice. See, we want you to practice every day. Watch Michael for 2 hours, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and then we take a 30-minute break, and then we do 2 hours of live radio. But what we want you to do is we want you to go practice what you've learned for 2 hours. In the simulator, you're not using real money. It's real-time data. There's no delayed data. The platform is fully functional. Costs you absolutely nothing. You don't have to put up a credit card or anything. So you'll watch Michael for 2 hours, you'll ask questions, you'll take notes, and then you'll practice for 2 hours. And the first day, you'll be totally baffled and confused. You'll immediately understand that even though it looked crystal clear while he was doing it, suddenly you don't have a clue what you're supposed to do. That's okay. You know, just stumble your way through it and take notes. The next morning, as soon as Michael gets his points for the day, you'll start asking questions. Okay, man, I was trying to trade crude yesterday like you do, and then this happened, and Michael will scroll back to the chart and the time frame that you're referring to, and he'll walk you through that trade. And after a couple of days repeating that process, where you watch him trade and then practice on your own, then come back the next day and ask questions, by the end of your 5th day, it'll be clear whether or not what we have to offer can benefit you. It's a 90-day mentoring program, but the first week is on us. We don't need your mother's maiden name or the street you grew up on. All we need is a name and an email address where we can reach you at so that we can send you the files that you need, so that we can send you the information, so that we can make arrangements for your one-on-one mentoring session. Beyond that, we don't need anything else from you. At the end of the 5 days, you'll be able to make a decision, a well-informed decision, as to whether or not you want to enroll in the 90-day mentoring program. We've tried to make it as simple, as unobtrusive, and as risk-free as we possibly know how to do, okay? We're now in our 2nd decade of teaching traders to trade. Hopefully this week, whether you become a partner or not, hopefully you will learn something that will help you and assist you in your journey up Trader Mountain, okay? Because you'll be in a room each morning with people who've been at it for 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and even longer, much longer. Many people have been in this business for many years and have not found consistent profitability. Now, when you ask questions in the live trading room, no one can see what you type except Michael and I. So I don't want you to hold back. I don't want you to be shy. I don't want you to think somebody's going to know your business. We're always very sensitive to that type of thing. And most important, no one is going to judge you because of what you don't know, all right? We're there to help you, to teach you, and to let you find out if what we do is going to work for you. So let me answer any questions that there are. I'm going to give you the link that will get you into the live trading room next week. I'm going to get you the password, all the stuff that you need. I want you to get your platform downloaded tonight. If you're on Ninja, I want you to get your indicators up and running so that tomorrow morning, I don't want you to actually placing trades in the live trading room tomorrow, wait till the second day for that. Because if you're fumbling around with the mouse trying to copy Michael's trades, you won't really see and hear what he's trying to convey to you. So watch him in the morning and watch your indicators and then practice. And then when you come back on Tuesday, you will have a boatload of really good questions because you've actually been out there trying to do this. Now remember, learning how to trade is a skill that no one can ever take away from you. Now, driving, I use that as an example. There may come a day when we all reach a certain age where it's no longer in our best interest to get behind the wheel of a vehicle. And so, other than that, and I know many people well into their 90s who are, I would not hesitate for a moment to get in the car with them. So this is a life skill. This is an opportunity for you to grow a business. You don't have to go and stand in front of a group of sometimes arrogant sharks with your hat in your hand, dancing a jig, trying to beg and plead and convince, cajole them to bankroll your dream. And then, sometimes they fund you and sometimes they make fun of you, and that's a bit cruel. To open a futures account, the minimum opening balance with the broker we use is $2,500. If you already have an account somewhere, then you know what it takes or what you need to have in your account. If you're going to learn to trade S&P 500, Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, the margins are $500 per contract, okay? My recommendation is that you keep an account balance 1.5 times what you need to trade at the level you're at. Let's say you've earned your way up to the 10 contract level. It costs $500 margin per contract, so that's $5,000. 1.5 times would be $7,500. You want that extra money to cover any drawdowns or stop outs, that kind of thing. What you don't want to do is you don't want to keep a lot of excess cash in your active trading account, because in the event of a flash crash, if a stop gets jumped, I read an email on air from one of our guys some years ago, and it's out on our blog now. He lost $70,000 in a flash crash March a few years ago. They can't take what's not there. So keep the minimum, transfer. Now, here's another thing. By the time you earn your way up to your third contract, you should start having money transferred out of your account each week. Call Bert if you use our broker, call your broker, whoever he is, and I don't care if it's $100. Send me a check, do an automatic deposit, wire me the funds. We have to get our brains rewired, because many of us have been on that roller coaster boom and bust thing where we make a bunch of money and then give it all back and make a bunch of money and give it all back. Okay, we're going to get off that roller coaster. We're going to become consistent. Once you fund your account, once you embark on the 24/20 blueprint, there is no good reason for you to ever have to send the broker more money. Now, I'm not saying you can't blow up an account with us, because you can. However, you would have to break an awful lot of the rules that you agree to follow when you enter the mentoring program. That right there is a huge game changer. So when you hit that third contract, that's when you start getting paid every week, even if it's $100 in the beginning, depends upon your personal situation, and that will grow every time you add another contract. the amount of money. And because you're not going to go to 3 contracts and then the second you have enough money to add a 4th contract, no. You're going to trade at that level for a period of time. So money will start to build up. We got to get that money out of there where it's FDIC insured, and maybe you even make a little interest on it, okay? Now, understand this, that trading is risky. Understand that you can lose all of your money and then some. Understand that trading, while attractive and appealing it just isn't suitable for all people. Not everyone has the temperament and the personality to be a trader. That doesn't make you a bad person, not at all. It just means you have to find the career that's right for you. Steve Jobs is famous for saying this, but I think he borrowed it from one of the really old dudes, like Plato or somebody. Find a job that you love, and you'll never work another day in your life. That's how your trading should be. If your trading is not like that, let's fix it. And if after trying we're unable to fix it, then start finding that thing that you love, that you have a passion for. If you love to read, sometimes you'll get into a good book and hours will pass and you'll look up at the clock and it's like, man, where did time go? Same thing happens with the artists. The same thing happens with guys that love to work on cars. Golf. I mean, different people have different things. So you deserve to not only have a profession that earns you a good income, that allows you to take care of yourself and your family, but that you also enjoy, that you wake up and you look forward to going to work. I know too many traders, or I have known over the years, so many traders. The drive into work is a drive of fear, white knuckles, clutching the steering wheel. Is today the day I'm going to blow up my business? Is this the day I'm no longer a trader? If you're asking yourself that question, you're not a trader. After the show, Google this. Just jot it down for now. Define professional trader. Just Google search. Define professional trader. Should be the article right at the top underneath some ads. Read that. You could be closer to being a professional trader than you realize. I have news for you. The size of your account does not determine whether or not you're a professional trader. Those of you who've read the book Market Wizards know that all of those people were considered professional traders. But look at what happened. Look at what happened. Now, some of them got it back. Some of them got it back and gave it away again. And some, the emotional, the psychological scars were so deep, they never could get back into the business. So, question time. All right. What kind of time commitment are we looking at? Jorge, our mentoring program is 90 days. Now, just because the mentoring program is 90 days doesn't mean you'll be a... Here's what going through our 90-day mentoring program means. It means you've gone through our mentoring program. Different people learn at different speeds, okay? Some people are more suited for the job than others. Some people are really good with numbers. Some people are very nimble and, like in chess, are able to think 2 or 3 moves ahead. Now remember, we've done our best to make our 2 little trade setups that we teach you in the live trading room So simple you can practically do them in your sleep. But hey, it'll take as long as it takes. I will say this. If you're thinking of getting into trading as a career, and if you are planning to pay next month's mortgage with your new career, you have to back up, because that won't work, okay? Learning this business, this is so different than any other business in the world. Now, some traders pick it up really quick, especially the ones who haven't been abused, I call it. I call it battered trader syndrome. A lot of guys have been, I use that term for the first time in print and on the radio back in 2006. My wife and I used to run a home for battered women and abused children. And I saw a lot of the same characteristics in some traders who had sat under a guru that abused them verbally, psychologically. It was terrorism, is what it was. And so I wish I had an easy answer. 30 days, you'll be profitable. 60 days, you'll be profitable. No one can make you that promise. And anyone that does, you should be very, very wary of what you're being told. Okay? All right. $100 after commission. Actually, I don't know if that's pronounced Mick or Mike. It's $100 gross per day in 10 trades or less. Let me give you an example here. Let's say, for instance, it took you 10 trades every day to gross your $100. It would take 47 trading days before you would increase your account balance by $2,000 and be able to add your second contract. Now, the boot camp period I talked about, we want you to be consistently profitable 10 days in a row. We want you to make $100 in 10 trades or less 10 days in a row. It's possible to have a lucky day in the market. It's possible to have a couple of lucky days in the markets. It's not possible to have a lucky week, and it's impossible, absolutely impossible, to have 10 consecutive days where you just plain get lucky. So it was after much thought that I chose the number 10, okay? So think about this. You're going to get up to 7, 8 days, and maybe something happens. You run off the rails for whatever reason. Go back to 1. Now, it depends upon the nature of what went wrong. You might not have to go back and start over at 1. We're going to have to dissect what happened, and we'll go into a personal mentoring session to do that. But the idea is that when you go live, you're not nervous because you think that you're living on luck. It needs to be written on the tablet of your heart that you have learned a skill set that you can deploy day after day after day after day. Just like the guy working in a factory, building widgets. Nothing ever changes about his job. Every day he goes in, sits down, picks up the same tools, makes the widgets. The only difference with this business is you don't know how many trades it's going to take you today to build your widget. Some days it'll happen in one trade. You'll put the trade on. The indicator set will tell you at exactly what price to enter. Whether you're in Brooklyn or Bangladesh, if you're trading the S&P 500, everybody's getting long at the same price, not because we call it out in the room, but because That's how the trade setup works. And over in the right-hand column there, it will highlight the entry price of that trade. If it goes straight to the target and you get your 8 ticks for the day, the S&P pays $12.50 a tick, then you're done. Now that's difficult if it's only 15 minutes into the day. We'll help you get through that. That's one of the psychological issues. Remember, taking your points out of the market every day, that's only 20% of the journey. The other 80%, that's the tough part. And that's part of the tough part. Now, since you're allotted 10 trades every day, if you just happen to have a day where you get it done in one trade, what happens to the other 9 trades? Do we toss them? No. The business model assumes it's going to take you 10 trades every day to make your goal, when in fact that's not true. And so you come in on Monday, first day you go live, you know, it just happens. You get it done in one trade. The 9 you don't use roll forward until tomorrow. So when you come in on Tuesday, you have 19 trades to get your daily goal. If it takes you 18 of them, no big deal. That's the purpose of the rollover trades. Here's another thing that will happen. You'll come in on a day where, let's say you're trading the Russell. That pays $10 a tick. Okay? So you need 10 ticks to make your $100. You'll get stopped out with 3 ticks profit. And then you'll get stopped out with 4 ticks profit. So you've got 7 ticks profit so far in 2 trades. And then on the third trade, you get stopped out at break even. Okay? And then on your fourth trade, it actually just runs from the entry right up to the target. So what's happened here is you've made 170% of your daily goal. Stopped out with 3, stopped out with 4, stopped out at break even, hit your target of 10. That's 17 ticks. You've made 170% of your daily goal, and you did it in 4 trades. So we're going to roll forward 6 unused trades to the next day. And the 70%, that's going to roll forward as well. In the members area of the website, one of our partners built an app. It's called the Daily Performance Tracker. Each day you'll export the data out of either DT Pro or Ninja, whichever platform you end up using. You'll export the data into the Daily Performance Tracker. And so each morning when you open up your platform, you get ready to trade, you open up your performance tracker, it will show you on a little graph where you are based upon the model, which says it'll take 10 trades every day to reach the daily goal. You'll know if you're ahead of the curve, behind the curve. You'll know how many trades you have in the hopper for that day to work with. Now, here's where that can be a real benefit. Let's say you come in, you're trading the Russell, you get stopped out with 5 ticks profit. Okay, that's good. That's 50% of your daily production in one trade. Second trade, get stopped out at break even. Okay, happens. Third trade, you get stopped out with 4 ticks profit. Man, you need 10 ticks to be done for the day. You have 9 ticks. You've used up 3 of your 10 trades. Well, obviously you just take another trade, right? Not necessarily. Take off the trader hat for a moment and put on the business manager hat. Remember, what we're teaching you is not only how to drive, we're teaching you how to manage your business. So when you put on your business manager hat, you go, I got 9 ticks for the day. Now, this is whether you're a 1 contract trader or a 50 contract trader. However big you've scaled up to this point legally, okay, by following all the rules. If I take another trade, I could get stopped out for 8 ticks because that's the most we risk on any trade. Or I could not take another trade because over here in my rollover percentages, I have, 5 days of daily goal in my rollover. So do I want to risk getting stopped out for 8 ticks on the next trade, being 1, 2, 3, 4 trades into the day, and I'm only up 1 tick? No. See, trader hat, business manager hat, the daily performance tracker. If you're not using that, if you're one of the partners who's here hanging out tonight, just listening and just hanging out, being part of the community, I can't encourage you enough to put it to work. In fact, let me show you real quick. Is this the page? Okay, if you go to cfrn.net, daily, what am I missing here? cfrn.net. Daily. Oh, I'm sorry. cfrn.net/performance tracker. There's a little dashboard, okay? It runs off Excel, but if you don't have Excel on your computer, you can use openoffice.org, which is free for the spreadsheet part of it. But you'll have this little dashboard, this graphical interface that will give you all your numbers, man. It slices and dices. You know how many days you've been on a streak where you hit your daily goal. You know what your account balance is. When you get your goal for the day, it gives you an attaboy. I mean, Dan just did a fantastic job. I cannot thank him enough. He did our community a huge, huge favor. He's a very smart guy, works for Oracle. Anyway, this page has a series of training sessions, okay? Anyone can watch these videos. In order to actually download the tool itself, the app, if you will, you have to become a partner. That link is in the members area. But even just watching these videos and understanding how it tracks your daily performance and the metrics that are important, even if you never became a partner, watching these videos would be very beneficial to you. Our live trading room results are on our website. You just click from the home page. Okay, let's try that. Go from the home page, view live trading room results, click that. It'll bring you here. You can download a spreadsheet, okay, by clicking there. It has every trade we've taken in the last 3 years in the live trading room. We record the audio and video every day of the live trading room, but we also commit everything to a spreadsheet. We also recap every trade taken each day in the live trading room on our daily live radio broadcast. We're now in our 2nd decade. If you go to our Google Plus, Emini Google Plus community, you can go back and watch Friday's radio show and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Tuesdays, and the list goes on and on. This page has thousands of hours of video, webinars, seminars, Q&As, you name it. Now, how do you get to this page in a simple manner? Go to cfrn.net, click Emini Radio Blog, watch recent broadcasts, and there you go. Okay. If you want personal mentoring, if you're on the trial, or if you're one of the partners in here hanging out right now, if you're on the trial, you still have to book your personal mentoring session, okay? And you just go to this page, Emini Personal Mentoring, okay? You'll be emailed the instructions. And at the very bottom, by the way, that's not us. We that used to be us, but it's not. We've simplified things. Pick a time and a day that's convenient for you, and then book it, Dano. Okay? So that's your personal mentoring. The one trade a day, that's here. The Google Plus community, I've showed you that. The live trading room results, I've showed you that. And the performance tracker, I've showed you that. Okay. Let's see. I have tried the DT Pro, but want to try the Ninja as I have Ninja. How do I find out the machine ID? Michael, I don't have Ninja open right now, but if I'm not mistaken, you click where it says help up across the top. And if someone in here, I don't trade with Ninja, guys. I used it many years ago, but I'm a DT Pro guy now. But I think it's just a help file, and it drops down, and it says machine ID. I think it's that simple. Okay. And worst case, Google, how do I find my machine ID on Ninja? And it'll tell you. Okay. I found it. So where do I send it? Oh, you found. Oh, okay. You answered your own question. Send it to support@cfrn.net. Now, we do limit the free trials, okay, to one every 6 months. If you have some extenuating circumstances, your name, I think, Michael, is so familiar to me because you're hanging out with us on the radio show every day. So if you're serious about a trial, and if you go to sign up for the trial and it turns you away, email me, okay, and I'll work with you. All right. Peter, is Thinkorswim compatible with DT Pro? No, it is not. There are some security issues with Thinkorswim and also with TradeStation. We have literally hundreds of requests weekly to become compatible with TradeStation and Thinkorswim. I don't know that we're ever going to go TradeStation, but I am in the process of some preliminary discussions that could someday make us Thinkorswim compatible, but I don't want to promise you that, and I don't want you hanging out there waiting to see if that's going to happen, because that type of an executive decision could be, 3, 6, 9 months out. So unfortunately, for now, the answer is no. Next question. I have eFutures International and again Capital ACC with Canon Trading. Can I download your indicators on that? Thank you. Anthony, do me a favor. Copy and paste that question into an email send it to support@cfrn.net, and Michael will have the answer for you. He does all of our ninja stuff. I do the DT Pro stuff. He'll have an answer for you, and I'll also forward your question over to Bert. And between the two of them, we'll have you an answer tonight to let you know if you can get the indicators up and running on your current platform. Yeah, whatever it is, just copy paste it in an email and send it to support@cfrn.net. That's another important thing, guys, as you're on the trial this week. Go to your contact list and add support@cfrn.net to your contact list. Now, the live trading room each day is held in a GoToWebinar format, just like what we're in right now. We pay Citrix, obviously, to do the hosting, and then also we pay them to send you out the reminder link each day. The live trading room is going to start in an hour. When you're ready to join, click here. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to your contact list, and I want you to add as contacts 2 entries. 1 at citrix.com. You don't need a name or anything, just at citrix.com. And then also at Citrix Online, all one word, lowercase, at citrixonline.com. So if you're going to be on the trial this week, I want to make sure you get all the important emails, and there will be a flurry of them over the week, okay? It's not to pester you or bother you. It's to help you progress, through the week and to help you get the most out of the week, okay? All right, next question. Okay, Nick, that's a great question. Do you have a limit on the number of full stop outs per day? Are you referring to when you're in the simulator, or once you go live, or both? Both. Okay, great. Well, if you're in sim trying to put together your 10 consecutive days in a row where you make $100 in 10 trades or less, there's no limit to the number of stop outs. In fact, you just need to keep putting on more trades and more trades until together we can isolate what the issue is. I had a mentoring session with someone last week, delightful lady, and she's been with us for a while, but she was struggling with her consistency, and it turned out there was one little thing with the trade setup that when she originally learned it, she didn't quite get it right. And so that thing has haunted her ever since. I mean, she gets 7, 8, 9 days, and then boom, everything falls apart. So now that we've corrected that, I think she's doing exceptionally well, and she'll be going live shortly. So don't ever hesitate to reach out for help. At the end of a day, if you have had a quote-unquote rough day, now this is whether you're still in the simulator or you've already gone live, take screenshots, okay? If you don't know how to take screenshots, we'll teach you tomorrow morning in the live trading room. And send those snapshots to us so that Michael and I can kind of dissect them, and then we'll email you back and say, well, when this happened and that happened, you should have did this. Now, there will be some times that we'll go, no, you did nothing wrong. You followed all the rules. You executed properly You simply got stopped out. This is so important for everyone to understand. The best trader on the best day on planet Earth is going to be profitable 7 out of 10 trades. That also means he's going to be unprofitable 3 out of 10 trades. Now, that's the best trader on planet Earth. If you're just getting started, or if you've been struggling a couple of years, guess what? You're not the best trader on planet Earth. I'm not the best trader on planet Earth. In fact, I'm the first person to call myself a mediocre trader at best. But that's okay, because we have built our methodology and our strategy in such a manner that it turns a mediocre trader from a zero into a hero. And we do that by using the laws of probabilities, okay? Mark Douglas addresses this issue so well in his book, Trading in the Zone. Now, he was a friend of mine. Many of you may know he passed last year. He was a great man. He really was. And he really had a heart for helping traders. And he's got a third and final book coming out. I'm not sure when his wife will release it, but it will be announced on our radio show and on our website once we have a firm date. I haven't checked his site lately, so she may have already announced that. I don't know. But Mark taught me that you don't have to know what's going to happen next to make money in the markets. Huh. And I'm like, get out of here. Of course you do. And he's like, no, not only don't you, you can't. You can't know what's going to happen next. You can use your technical analysis tools the same way a weatherman uses Doppler radar to kind of figure out what the weather's going to be tomorrow. But God did not give it to man to know the future. We can remember the past, and based upon what we remember from the past, we can alter what we think, say, and do today, and that creates our tomorrow. What we think, say, and do today creates our tomorrow. Now, God, in his infinite wisdom, won't let us see the future, but he lets us see the past. There's a lesson in that, okay? We have to learn from our mistakes. We don't use terms like right or wrong. Oh, I was wrong on that, or I got it right. Okay, you either followed the rules or you didn't. We have a definable edge. That's what we teach you. And your goal is to simply show up to work every day. Use that definable edge that we teach you to reach your daily goal. The only unknown part of the equation is how many trades is it going to take you to reach the daily goal on that day. Again, some days it'll be 1, some days it'll be 10, some days it could be 18. But that's okay as long as you have the number of rollover trades in your kitty, in your performance tracker, that allows you to do that. Now, we do have a rule of thumb that says once you go live, if you reach a point where it takes you more than 10 trades to gross your $100 per contract per day, if that happens 2 days back to back, we want you to come off of the trading floor and back into sim. That's not a walk of shame. That is an intelligent business decision. That's the kind of business decision a Warren Buffett would make, okay? Because something's up. If 2 days in a row it takes you more than 10 trades to make your $100, we got to figure out what's going on. Is it possible you just had 2 really wonky days? I mean, yeah, but 99.9% of the time, when I sit in a mentoring session with someone who has taken snapshots, who has journaled each trade properly, we can almost always figure out what happened. There's a reason. Now, we don't sell you a set of indicators, shake your hand, and wish you the best of luck. We're entering into what, if you want, will be a lifetime relationship. At the end of the 90-day mentoring program, you will own the indicator set for life. Okay, that's yours. If you want to continue to come in the live trading room, if you still want to come to the workshops on Thursday night, if you still want to have access to the members area of the website where there's a couple thousand hours of live trading and live training videos. In other words, if you want nothing to change, there's a monthly maintenance fee of $75 per month. And it's entirely up to you whether you want to maintain that sense of community, or when we have a lot of these guys who they come, they learn, and they're gone. Every now and then they'll drop by to say hi. Life's good. They came, they got it, they learned to reach their daily goal in 10 trades or less. They've now scaled their business to whatever size they want to scale it to. Many scale beyond 20 contracts. I have another trader that I mentored with the other day. He spent a number of years on the floor as a floor trader at the CME. And he told me, Dwayne, the 24/20 blueprint. He goes, what if I don't want to go to 20? And I said, well, you don't have to. He says, $500 a day. He goes, where I'm at in my life right now. By the way, all the traders who've had to make the transition from the floor to the screen, that's not been a easy journey for them. It's really, there's a movie called Floored, Floord. I think you can watch it on Netflix. It's kind of depressing because, I mean, Chicago, where the commodities and future pits are, I mean, that's the stuff of legends. And you really just, if you have an interest, I can't tell you the movie has a happy ending because it doesn't, because a lot of people lost their jobs. And then they either had to find a new career after 10, 20, 30 years, or they had to learn to make the transition. He said, you know, I've made some right decisions in my life. And so really what I need to do now is I need to make about $500 a day, and I'll be able to, you know, my life will be good. And I said, brother, if you want to hit the pause button at 5 contracts as you graduate up to that level, there's nothing wrong with that. You can stay on 5 as long as you want. If you ever want to add a 6th one, all you got to do is click the button. If you decide you want to build it to 10 because you've really started to feel some confidence, then by all means. And we're available. Michael and I, we're not going to live forever. We're not going to be in this business forever. However, it's what we do. It's what we have a passion for. We're in our 2nd decade. We love helping traders learn how to trade. We have a mission statement. We're changing the world, one life at a time, one tick at a time. Not only do we have traders around the world, we have missionaries in the field who are trading. We have work in Africa, we have work in India, we have work in Mexico. Now, we're not a charity, we're not a non-profit organization. It's not about that. We're a for-profit business like any other business. We started out as a talk radio station, and Michael and I were spending so many hours a day trading people or training people to trade uh, for free that it was eating into our ability to earn our own living. And so we needed to be able to trade and train people because we have a heart and a passion for that. And so we became a fee-based service. And quite frankly, we didn't know how that was going to turn out. We thought, you know what? People have been beating our doors down now for a couple of years because it was free. So we'll put a price tag on it. If it flies, it flies. And if not, then you and I'll just keep trading together like we've been doing for years. Bless God, we were astounded. People came out of the woodwork because now that there was a price attached, they saw it as, well, because we were doing it for free, maybe we'll be there tomorrow, maybe we won't be there tomorrow. So each time we take on a new client, which is daily pretty much, we're committing ourselves to at least another 90 days. And at the end of your 90 days, there's an option to continue at $75 a month, or we offer a substantial discount if you want to renew annually. And so every time we accept another annual extension, I'll text Michael or he'll text me and I'll say, you good for another year? Yeah. He'll send a smiley face or I'll send him one. And because that's what we're doing. I mean, if it's just one guy out there that we've committed to, we're going to honor that commitment. But the reason it's so important to us that we teach you how to trade is so that when we are done, whenever that might be, and I don't know when it will be, but we want people who'll be able to stand in our shoes, who'll continue to be able to follow and pursue the passion that God put in their heart. God put it on my heart and my wife's heart years ago to build an orphanage in Africa and to do some work in Mexico. We have a mission for kids down in Puerto Penasco. And that's what we were called to do. But not everyone's going to be called to do that. Not everyone wants to travel the world. God may have called you to do something in your neighborhood, in your street, in your community center. You know what I'm saying? But ministry costs money. Unless you want to be the kind of ministry where you always got your hat in your hand looking for some donations. I know missionaries who go to the mission field for 6 months, then they come back to America and they go on a speaking tour trying to raise enough money to go back there and minister the gospel for another 6 months. Our goal is to, as to the best of our ability, teach as many of those as we can to become self-supporting so that they don't have to come home for 6 months for the fundraising tour, that they can actually stay there and do the thing that they love to do. Of course, they want to come home and visit friends and family, but the beauty is they come home because they want to, not because they have to. So let's get the rest of these questions answered. By the way, Dwayne, I read your commentary on bar chart about the point of control from Monday at 1888 and now a bullish based. Love the article commentary. Anthony, thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. I'm going to mess your name up, Rumigru. I apologize. Does order flow and market volume tell you where the price is going? With our methodology, that's not something that we use. It's a valid technique, I suppose. Um, are you referring to market profile? That's one of the terms used for, I mean, there's order. Yeah, I have a good friend who uses market profile, but for me personally, it didn't quite fill in all the blanks, but I think it's a valid methodology. And so if that's something that you've invested time and money in learning, then I think what we might be able to add to that would be to fill in those few missing blanks. And a good way of finding out is just spending a week in the free trial, learning what we can teach you in the 5 days. Again, you get to ask all the questions you want to ask, and we're always happy to answer. We don't bite your head off if you question the guru. We don't make you sorry that you asked the question. We treat everyone with dignity and respect, and we only ask for the same in return. So I do know that my market profile friend used to co-host with me on Tuesdays for a period of time, and then he was just a guest on the show from time to time. It was quite amazing how our numbers, our points of entry, and what he came up with using his market profile techniques, the numbers would often be very, very similar. So I've noticed that with the different methodologies out there, and I know a few, right? But Michael and I just distilled something down really simple to take the muss and the fuss and the stress out of it. But I have several trading friends who use completely different methodologies and strategies that they created. And almost without fail on a daily basis, we come up with the same numbers as points to buy at and points to sell at. And it's amazing because I know their math is not my math and my math's not their math. So when you have three fingers pointing at the same spot, that spot deserves some attention. But you see, if I were to tell everybody here tonight, if I had the ability, which I don't, if I had the ability to tell everyone the exact high tomorrow and the exact low tomorrow of any market, that doesn't mean you would be profitable. In fact, it would be not only possible, but likely that that knowledge would give you a false sense of confidence and you would actually end up losing money. Why? Because just having the quote unquote numbers, magic numbers, whatever people call them, we don't call it magic, we call it math. But if you don't know how to trade, if you don't know how to put those numbers to use, it can actually do more harm than good. So, all right, I got to move on. How do you attain point of control without market profile? We just have our own method. It's math. It's not that difficult. I mean, with this platform right here, let's go to the S&P real quick. Do I got an S&P running? That's the Dow. What is this? Just looking for an empty chart that I can use. I can use this. Okay. Come on. Just want to highlight it and make it go away. All right. Finally. Wow. Okay. We have this little thing on this platform. I think most platforms have something kind of similar. Is this it? No. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me drop this down to, gosh, I'll drop it down to 1 minute since we're so early into the session. Okay, today's January the 24th. Okay, this was Friday's close. Now, this is a 1 minute chart. That's why it looks a little odd. Okay, but here's where we open tonight on the Russell. I'm going to change it to the ES just because more people are familiar with the ES, I think. But I'll look at any chart you want to look at. Okay, so we're on a 1 minute chart of the ES. And this was the opening candle for Globex tonight. Okay. So we gapped higher on the open tonight. We opened at 1899.50, and in 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, we put in a swing high all the way up at 1904.25. Okay. Now, I have this little thing here. You guys can't see. It's part of my platform but anyway. This is simply a volume. This shows you how much volume was traded at this price, but it's not really called market pro. It's called a volume histogram. Okay, it would be kind of like me taking this. Hang on, indicators volume. It would be like me taking, see, here's volume in this minute right here. 1,856 contracts were traded in that 1 minute. So all we've done is we've taken this volume and we've flipped it on its side. Okay? It's just a different way of looking at the same thing. And for us, that's one method. Like right now, the two areas obviously that are important. Let me get price over here so you can see it. Okay, nice. Now if I could just get rid of the thing in my way that you can't see. Let me try. I can't get it. Okay, there we go. All right. So you see, we had a lot of volume traded at 1902. Okay, this whole little area right across here. And then where's our next most important area? 1899.41. Oh, that thing's dropping like a rock. Wow, I'm going to have to get busy and get the numbers out. Okay. See, there was the open. Oh, it's moving so fast. What did I say that number was? 1899.46. So you get the idea. It's this area here. Now that we've broken through, see, we're now in what they would call virgin territory. If this doesn't act as good resistance, if this doesn't turn the market back down, then beautiful trade opportunity would be to be long from 1900 to 1902. In fact, let me just show you. Long 1900 to 1902. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to see if this pops back up. Now, if it doesn't, we're going to look left, and going into the close Friday, we had a leg and a retracement. We had a leg. We put in a lower high, okay? And then we closed the week on that candle. We open tonight on this candle, okay? So here's what I want to say. 1900 to 1902. Now, our goal in the S&P is 2 points a day, 1897 to 1895. We risk 8 ticks on every trade. The Russell, gold, crude, you need 10 ticks. S&P, soybeans, Russell. Oh, they changed the Russell. Not the Russell, I'm sorry, the Euro. The Euro used to pay $12.50 per tick, but they've changed it. Now it's 6.25. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this for now. So I was just showing you one way of arriving at that if you don't have those tools available. Some of those charting platforms can be expensive. With DT Pro, you get it for free. Now, actually, the ideal trade, you see how we came below and then we pulled back and this became good resistance right here? The market is always building legs in one direction or another. Leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg. Really, I don't want to be 98 because that's right there. Yeah, you know what? I'll leave it at fact. I'll just leave it there. That's just another trade. That's one of the things that we're going to teach you more than anything. It's just another trade. It's always just another trade. When people are new, they get very, very excited when they have a good day. And I don't ever want to rain on someone's parade, but I'm quick to say, please calm down. Okay? It's just another trade. Yeah, man, but I did it. You did do it. And I'm so happy for you. Now get off your desk before you fall and hurt yourself. Okay? Because the guy who's dancing on his desktop today tends to be the guy who's curled up in a fetal position under his desk tomorrow. And that's heartbreaking. And vice versa. When the person calls me all depressed, I say, man, come on, get out from under your desk. Come on. Now sit up. Now let's talk about this. Let's figure out what happened. Let's look at the chart. Were we trending? Were we? And I may make you tell me yes or no. Okay? Fine. And then we move from there and we see what went wrong, what happened with the trade. All right. So we know what we're looking to do. We're looking to be long 1902, 1900 to 1902. Okay. Long 1900 to 1902 or short 1897 to 1895. All right. What are the questions we got? Yeah, James, I think you're right. I agree. Yes. Yeah, James. Very well said. Very well said. Oh, good, Anthony. All right. You know, you guys have been a great group. A lot of the questions I've been able to answer just kind of typing in some of the stuff for you. Now, the live trading room opens tomorrow morning at 9:30. Michael likes to get the room open, usually about 9 a.m., just so that everybody can get ready. Now, there won't be any commentary, so don't immediately think it's broken, the speakers aren't working, because you'll log in, you'll see the charts, you'll see price action, you'll see all that stuff, you know, just like you're seeing here, but you won't hear any voices. He's really good about showing up right at the bell, and he won't take time to say good morning. He hits the ground running, okay? Because he wants to get his goal for the day as quickly as possible. When you go through our spreadsheet, when you download the spreadsheet from our website, you'll see that most days it's like 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever the case might be. Some days it does take an hour, okay, to hit our goal for the day. And that's okay. But he likes to get it out of the way as quickly as possible so he can really focus his energy on not maintaining the equity curve, but actually listening to you. Because so often traders, it's not what you ask, it's what you don't ask, and we're forced to read between the lines, and so we really need to be able to focus. We used to both be in there answering questions, and some days we are, but many days I'm off, you know, dealing with private equity clients, or I'm doing one-on-one mentoring sessions. I prefer to do the mentoring sessions in the afternoon if possible, but if you're not available in the afternoon, then feel free to book your session in the morning, okay? Just go to that page I gave you. All right, let me see. Is this thing going to pop down and give us a trade? All right, I'm going to put in the chat box right now. Looks like it's starting to roll that way. We'll see. Okay, live trading room. Now you're going to want to copy and paste this. It'll be the same link and the same password all week, okay? So I'm going to put this in the chat box right now. Okay, now let me go see. I've got to remember what I said the password was. Hang on, I'll find it. Blizzard, how could I forget? Blizzard, send to all. Okay, so you got the link, you got the password, okay? Leg, retrace, leg, retrace. See if we get our leg down here or not. If we don't, it's just another trade. So I'm also going to give you in the chat box real quick. I don't want to block the chart. Okay, I'm going to put the link for the performance tracker. So I want you to watch some of those videos, check them out. Okay, send to all, okay. And then the Google Plus page. I'm telling you, be careful, you'll get lost in there. There's so many hours of video, classes, radio shows, teaching, training, you name it. Okay. All right. You got the link. The first thing I gave you was the link to the trading room. Then I gave you the password. Then I gave you the link to the performance tracker videos. Then I gave you the link to the Google Plus page. And then I gave you the link to the One Trade a Day. You know, the One Trade a Day is great, and I post the results. I do the recap each day of the concierge trade alerts. If you're not familiar with the concierge trade alerts, you're going to see those results when you go to the Google Plus page. Guys, that's, you know, I'll let you be your own judge, okay? And we'll talk about those. If I don't have to be in a mentoring session tomorrow morning, we'll talk in the live trading room. Otherwise, we can talk on the radio show, or we can talk in a mentoring session next week. Learn those. But again, it's like I give you the high of the, and I'm not giving you the high of the day and the low of the day. It's nothing like that. But you need the fundamental understanding how to trade. You need that to stand on. To build your trading business, you need to know how to drive. Once you learn how to drive, nobody can ever take that away from you. Okay? The beauty of building a trading business on a solid foundation is that it is scalable infinitely. Or you can make yourself a nice income that suits your lifestyle and makes you happy. And at any time that you want to change that, raise it, lower it, it's a matter of clicking a button and changing the number of contracts. For those of you that have never traded futures, you're coming to us from the world of equities. There is no pattern day trading rule. You don't have to maintain a minimum account balance of $25,000. When it comes tax time, you don't have to wade through mountains and mountains of trades. You get a 1099. You either made money or you lost money. And there's preferential tax treatment. And by preferential, I mean part of your profits are calculated as long-term capital gains, even though the trade only lasted 5 minutes. Now, when I first started trading futures, I left equities and came to futures in 2005. I thought, oh, boy, they'll take that away tomorrow. You know, that ain't going to last forever. That dog won't hunt. Man, here it is. Knock on wood. Here it is, 2016, and they still give us that. So talk to your accountant. I'm not a tax guy. I can't dispense tax advice. And your CPA may not have any other clients that trade futures. So he may have to do a little research on his own to come back to you and go, I did not know that, you know. So anyway, it's purely electronic. There's no homework to do at night. You don't have to worry about the CEO running off with the secretary and the coffee pot, the P&L, earnings ratios, all that stuff that I used to do every night, you know, grinding through it, trying to handicap. It was like being at the racetrack, like trying to handicap the best horse or the best dog, you know. We don't do that. We just go in and we just take our trades. Let me just show you. Gosh, one little trade set up, and then I'll answer any last question. I'll go. Then tomorrow morning, we'll have tons of charts up that you can look at. Let's see, what is this? I want to leave that 1 minute running. Okay, what I got? Let me go to a 4-tick range chart. Okay, beautiful. All right. That simple little trade setup that I've been talking about. Okay. Now, the first short trade tonight got disqualified. Okay, that candle's January 22nd. That candle right there, that represents the Globex open tonight on the Russell. Okay. All right. When price is above the green line, the BBC, remember I talked to you about that bull bear cross, okay? And price starts to rise, we expect higher prices, okay? Now, that vertical line is Friday. This is Sunday night. So we come down into the BBC. We get an up close. We would have bought the open of this candle, but the trade was disqualified. This little black line that looks like a set of stairs. We call it the step line because we're the king of giving stuff cool names. So we call it the step line. When the step line touches the BBC before you enter the trade, it disqualifies the trade. Okay, so do we have a legitimate trade setup? We do. From here, across here, up close, we got to get an up close above this trend line right here. Takes 2 candles to draw a trend line. In a perfect world, price would have pulled all the way back to touch up close by the open of the next candle. But there's so much momentum on the open tonight that price couldn't pull all the way back up close by the open of the next candle, which is right there. So the open of that candle was 10.1550. The Russell pays $100 per point. 10.1650. Okay. So the open of this candle, all right, the setup is bullish because the CFMA1 is blue and climbing, okay? Price starts to pull back to the BBC. We draw a trend line across these tops. It can't make it all the way back. We close above. We buy the open of this candle, which is 10.1550. At 10.1650, that's our $100 per contract per day. Okay? Now, once in the beginning, we're going to teach you to use a hard target because we want you to get comfortable. We want you to become confident that you can make your $100 per contract per day. In the live trading room, what you'll see Michael do, because he already has that confidence, is you'll see him trail his stop, okay? And so while this went 10 ticks and gave us our daily goal, it actually continued all the way up to 10.1770. This is 10.1650. The open here was 15.50, 16.50, 17.50. So if you were trailing your stop, price would have came back, taken you out. This would have been one of those days where you might potentially have exceeded your daily goal of $100 per contract per day. Maybe you made 170, 180. That's great. one trade, and you have all those, you have 9 rollover trades, plus you have the rollover percentage of the 70, 80, 90% of an entire day's production. Okay. Now, bearish cross, price pulled away, price pulled back to physically touch. We need a down close. We sell the open of the next candle, but we're disqualified because the step line already touched the BBC. We get another bearish cross here, and we don't get a trade opportunity until way down here. This candle right here opened at 10:13.30, put in a swing low at 10:12.90. Let's figure out where our hard stop is. Okay. Remember, we risk 8 ticks on every trade. So if we entered the trade here at the open, 10:13.30, 10:14.50, I'll check my math in a second. That may not be right. Okay. So the open 10:13.30. 10:13.30. Okay. Eight ticks higher would be 10:14.10. 10:13.30 plus 8 would be 10:14.10. Which is right there. Okay. Bearish cross. Price pulled away. Price started to pull back. Couldn't move all the way back. Down close. Sell the open of this candle. You had 3 ticks profit in the trade. Now at 4 ticks profit, we would move our stop to break even, but it didn't go the 4th tick. And so we're stalled out right here. Now, one or two things are going to happen. We're going to get another leg, or price is going to pull up and physically touch the BBC, and then we may get our down leg. I have a personal preference for the trades that pull all the way back. Leg, retrace, physical touch, down close, sell the open to the next candle. That's my personal preference, okay? Both are valid trades, but these are the only 2 trades that we're going to teach you in the live trading room. If you become a partner, we have additional trades that we teach on Thursday nights during the partner workshops, but you don't need those. They're not required for you to become consistently profitable in the markets. What's required for you to become consistently profitable in the markets is you have to learn how to think in probabilities, and you have to learn to be disciplined, and that's it. The heavy lifting's already been done. We give you a definable edge. All you have to do is show up and do it. Now, if you think this is some kind of ATM machine or some kind of one-armed bandit, that you're going to put your money in and it's just going to spit out quarters all day long, That's not how it works. Now, if we back up to Friday just a little bit, here's a bullish cross. Price pulled away. Now, see, this is the trade that I like. I like to wait for this trade, okay? Price pulls back to physically touch, up close, by the open of the next candle, which is 1013.70, and at 1014.70, which is right there. That's your 10 ticks. You're done for the day. However, there were other opportunities, okay? Here, bullish cross, price pulled away. Price attempted to pull back to the BBC, but there was momentum, and so it couldn't pull back. If you measured it, you would find out that that move, this is all built into, you don't have to draw fibs anymore because it's built into the code that runs the indicators. You see, from that low to that swing high, this pullback to the BBC, it's always going to put you somewhere inside this strike zone. Most of the time, it's going to put you between the 38, the 50, and the 62. This thing had so much momentum, it barely, scarcely managed a 24% retracement. In fact, from this low to this high here, we didn't get one. Now, if we come on, from the low to the actual swing high, we get a 24% retracement. I would much rather have a deeper retracement. I would much rather be trading out of a 38.50.62, okay? Because then I have enough room to run just to get back to the swing high. I don't have to probe into new territory. The market is always comfortable trading between certain levels. And so if it's already been there, then in most cases, it's comfortable returning there, okay? So on this trade, all right, get rid of those fibs because you don't need them. You don't have to draw those anymore. You can draw them if you want to, but you just don't have to. Okay, and so up close by the open of this candle, okay? Open of this candle is 1013.70. Takes us up to 1014.40. So that's a 7-tick move. That's what the market made available, okay? Using aggressive risk management, you would have locked in 3 or 4 ticks on that trade. So first trade of the day, you would have 30-40% of your daily production done, okay? Then again, and then here. And when I say it's boring because it's so repetitious, because it's the same thing again and again and again, I mean, there you can see it with your own eyes. I mean, it just repeats. And that's all we're looking for. You know, we're not superheroes because we can knock it out of the park. We're superheroes because we have the patience to sit here and wait for this doggone thing to come together. Bullish cross, price pulls away, price pulls back, up close, by the open, 1012.60. We need to get up to 1013.60. And we end up going to 1014.50. And if you trail your stop on the outside here, I mean, the swing high was 1730. So from the open here at 1012.60, just round it up, call it 1013. That's a $400 per contract trade. Crude oil. Many like to trade crude. Let's see what crude's doing tonight. Now you'll notice that when I go from market to market, all I have to change is the symbol. Okay? I don't have to change anything else. Not the indicators, not the time frame, nothing. Okay? Oh, whatever happened to our little 1 minute trade? Well, it looks like we're looking for it to go to 95. Okay. From 97 to 95. And from 97, which would have been the trigger, the pullback was 98.50. So we risk 8 ticks on every trade. So this trade gave us a 6-tick drawdown. And now it looks like it wants to take us down to give us our 2 points to be done for the day. Now that was without any indicators. That was just taking a look at the dynamics of the market where they are right now. Okay, so bullish cross. Price pulls away. Price pulls back to physically touch. If we get an up close, okay, and what does an up close mean? That means a green candle or one of, right there, you see that candle with the flat top? That's an up close. Every one of these candles, I don't think I ever told you this, is 4 ticks tall. It's not a 4-tick chart. A 4-tick chart would be just blindingly fast right now. You couldn't even keep up with it. Okay? Every candle is 4 ticks tall. Range chart. And so if this closes right there, boom, okay? And so what do? You buy the open. And so this candle opened at 32.34. So if you opened up your DOM, you could come over here to 32.34 and you could left click it and you could buy on a limit. Okay. Bullish cross, price pulls away, price pulls back to physically touch, up close, buy the open of the next candle. Now, because every candle is 4 ticks tall, if I were focused in trading and not yakking, I would have known based on the movement. See, we're going to get left behind on this one. Because every candle is 4 ticks tall. The 5th tick is going to give me an open here, or a 5th tick to the downside is going to give me an open here. Okay, that's why we use the range chart. Okay, so where are we on the S&P tonight? S&P, what is this, a 30-minute chart? Pretty quiet. Where's the opening candle? Right there. So 10,000, 14,000, 22,000. 24,000. So we've traded 24,000, and the market's been open 2 hours. And once again, I turned my 30-minute Q&A session into 2 hours. Why? Because I have a passion for the markets. Because I'm trying to keep my mind off other things that are going on right now. And I want to see you guys succeed, okay? We don't sell magic. We got no genie in a bottle, no ancient secret on a papyrus, found in an urn in a cave somewhere in Egypt or Israel. We simply teach you how to drive. Once you learn how to drive, nobody can ever take that away from you. You can build your business as large as you want. If you try to shortcut it, if you say, you know what, I just sold my business, I just cashed in a 401k or CD, I got 10 grand to play around with, okay? I'm just going to go trade 10 contracts on the S&P. I only need 5 grand to trade 10 contracts on the S&P. 2 points, that's $1,000 a day. That's $250,000 a year. That's what I'm going to do. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've heard that story. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've never once, not once in over a decade, have I heard it end well. Okay? Because we've been successful in other businesses, because we have a high IQ, this business is a magnet for engineers, doctors, lawyers, scientists, really smart people with very exacting professions. A pilot, man, he's got to land that thing right every time. Lucky for him, the runway doesn't move. When the doctor has to remove an appendix, lucky for him, when he splits you open, appendix is always in the same place. Didn't move. Market is ever moving, okay? Your goal is to come in every day, get your points, go embrace life. Come back the next day, get your points, go embrace life. At the predetermined time, as you execute your business plan and your trading plan, you'll add your second contract. You'll add your third contract. If you stay on track, in 1 year, you'll be what our president refers to as one of America's wealthiest. That's what he calls people who make $250,000 a year. Am I telling you that you're going to make $250,000 a year? No. I'm not telling you you're going to make a dime. What I'm telling you is that you can come and practice and try to learn for a week on our dime. That's what I'm promising you. Trading's risky. You can lose all of your money and then some. It's not suitable for all people. And 9 out of 10 fail because they won't listen. Because they're smarter than the guy trying to teach them. I'm not talking about you or me. I'm just talking about people in general. I was that guy. I had a guru in 2005. He did me no favors, but he did tell me some things that if I had followed his advice, I would have done less damage to myself. I would have also realized early on that he was not what he purported to be, and I might have moved on sooner. So Michael and I collectively, we've been through a lot of financial, psychological damage. We're scarred. We walk with a limp. You can go through the same thing. You can Google at night till your fingers bleed looking for that one thing that will allow you to predict the future, to tell you if the next tick in the market is going to be up or down. And at some point, you're going to give up and you're going to say Dwayne was right. It doesn't exist. Now, you'll find things along the way, and for a period of time, you'll go, huh, that guy Dwayne was full of it. Look here, look, I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. Oh man, I just got killed. Don't get killed. We got killed for you. We got killed so you don't have to. All right. So anyway, no credit card required. Come spend the next 5 days with us. Ask all the questions you want. We'll teach you everything we can teach you in 5 days. You know, there's a late night infomercial where for $7,000, they promise to teach you how to trade in 5 days. Wow. Now, you'd think for $7,000 you would be able to learn to trade in 5 days, but it's not about the money. You cannot learn how to trade in 5 days. What you can learn in 5 days is whether or not you have what it takes to do what we do, to be patient, to sit and wait for the setup, execute, and then go home for the day. Do you have what it takes to be patient, to sit, to wait for the trade to set up, to execute, to manage, and then go home for the day? It's a boring life, man. However, it is a business where there is no limit on your earnings. No limit on your losses either. That's why you want to make sure you know how to drive. Okay? I'll teach you. All right. I think I've covered everything. Well, your setups work on index options. You know, Peter, yeah, I want to say yes, but in all fairness, why don't you do this? Why don't you come into the live trading room in the morning? Why don't you grab the indicators? Why don't you throw them on some charts? It's like comparing apples to oranges, okay? The answer I can sleep with is to say no. However, I think if you come and learn for the next 5 days, you'll figure out that it can be a very useful tool. It's not a strategy unto itself, but I think it can be a really good tool, and it could really help you out a lot. Rumi Guru, I think we've all ran into those. Have you ran into your fair share? Yeah, you really got to be careful out there. You know, the biggest red flag for me was with my first guru. He would not allow any of us. He was so charismatic. And he's the kind of guy, man, you just wanted to like him and you wanted to believe him because he could paint such a beautiful picture with his words. But he would not let you watch him trade live. And it was like, if we questioned that, it's like we were unchristian. We didn't have faith. We weren't believers. We were supposed to just believe him. And we just pleaded with him. You've explained it very well, but we're having a hard time doing it. Would you please just let us watch you do it? No. And if you pressed, you get the boot. Or you get publicly embarrassed or humiliated. So, I don't know. It's shameful. I talked to somebody the other day. It's still going on. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. It's 10 years later. It's still going on. And no, I will not give out the name. I don't do business that way. I'm not in the business of bad mouthing people. So I don't know. I got to go, guys. I have to do, you know how much work I have to do? Do you care? No. I got to do the weekly trading zone. I got to do the concierge trade alerts. I got to get everything set up for my own self and for the trading room tomorrow and for the mentoring sessions. And like I said, you don't want to know. Now, when I disconnect here in just a moment, support@cfrn.net. If you did not go through the official sign-up process, you need me to send you an email that looks like this. I'm going to show it to you. I think. Okay. You need to get an email. Oh, stop. Later. Okay. You need to get an email that looks like this. If you have not received this email, you're not officially on track to be allowed to do all the things that you get to do this week. Okay? Now, it might be that you went to our website and you typed in to where it says take the free trial and it rejected you because you took a trial in the past. That's all right. We'll give you a second chance. You might be scratching your head going, I think I already had 2 chances. Okay, you can't be a serial free trial taker. At some point, you just got to make up your mind, okay? Because you take up space and you take up our time. We try to help everybody that comes through the door. So if you need a second chance, it's no problem. We'll work with you. So if you did not get this email with the password Blizzard, because see, as you scroll down, it's going to give you a ton of information that you really, really need. Okay? And the further you get down, don't get bored. Just keep going. It tells you to go to, this is a really important part. Right here, to get your platform downloaded, your data flowing, and your indicators indicating. Now, this is whether you're DT Pro, Ninja, or one of the hybrid platforms. You've got to click this link, okay? That's where the magic happens. If we had any magic, but we don't, okay? So either go get this email by visiting cfrn.net/apply, or just email me cfrn support@cfrn.net, and in the subject line, was at the Q&A session, free trial please. Boom, I'll hit reply. I'll send you this email, and then I'll see you in the morning in the live trading room at 9:30. Now, I haven't checked my calendar. I may not be there in the morning. I may be at a mentoring session. So Michael will hit the ground running. Remember, you won't hear any sound until he shows up at 9:30 and starts trading. All you'll see are charts. Just wait, be patient. Once he starts talking and trading, he'll be talking fast. You won't have any idea what he means. Just sit there and just watch him for a few minutes, okay? He'll hit his points for the day. He'll open the floor up for discussion, and then you'll be able to spend the next hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. He'll answer any and every question you got. What's the green line? What's the red and blue line? I don't know what a cycle is. Why do you stop at 100 a day? Okay, if I'm able to be there and help answer questions, I will. But it's important that you tell him this, okay? You'll have the little chat box. Type into the chat box, good morning, my name's so-and-so. And I was in the Q&A session with Dwayne yesterday, and he said that you would help me, and he'll take really good care of you, okay? You have my word. And there will be a point in the morning where he'll actually stop trading, and he'll bring out some diagrams, and he'll walk you through the setups, okay? Then he'll give you a copy of the diagram so that tomorrow afternoon you can go and practice everything you saw him do. This is a great learning experience because tomorrow afternoon when you go try and practice using those diagrams and the platform and the indicators, you're going to get so lost, and it's so simple, but you're going to get so lost. That's okay. That means you're trying, okay? You move to the head of the class. So what you do is you go and you write your questions down one after the other, after the other, after the other. Tuesday morning, bang, let him get his points, hit him with the questions. Wednesday, let him get his points, bang, hit him with the questions, okay? By Friday, you'll either be dancing on your desktop, ready to become a partner and get on with the 90-day mentoring program, or you'll say, guys, it's been fun, it's been real fun, but it's not for me. And we'll shake your hand and we'll invite you to come hang out with us on the radio every day. Our phone number, you cannot forget, 949-42-E-MINI. 949-42-E-MINI. Okay? Hope to see each and every one of you in the live trading room tomorrow morning. If you think of something, because I'll be at my desk working for the next 3 hours, sad to say. No, it's what I do. If you think of a question that you wanted to ask tonight or that you need to know before tomorrow, just email me and I'll get back to you, okay? All right, that's it. I'm logging out. I'm going to leave the chat box open for just a couple minutes so you can go through there and grab any of those links that perhaps you didn't grab when you had the opportunity the first time, okay? All right, God bless you. I'll see you all in the morning.